That's the dramatic question unfolding right now as new details emerge from behind-the-scenes negotiations between Washington and Tehran. According to a top Iranian official, talks between the United States and Iran have reached a critical deadlock. And now, Iran says the next move belongs to President Donald Trump. In a rare and revealing interview from Tehran, Mohsen Rezai, a senior military advisor closely connected to Iran's leadership, delivered a clear message. Iran wants access to $24 billion in frozen assets before any major breakthrough can happen. Iran reportedly wants half of that money, about $12 billion, released immediately after an interim agreement is signed, with the remaining $12 billion released later. Rezai described the demand as a test of trust, arguing that the funds belong to Iran and should be returned if the U.S. is serious about improving relations. But here's where things get complicated. Many American officials view those frozen assets as one of Washington's strongest sources of leverage. Releasing billions of dollars before a final agreement is reached could be politically risky, especially for Trump, who has repeatedly criticized previous administrations for what he viewed as overly generous concessions to Tehran. As negotiations remain stalled, Rezai also issued a stark warning. If military conflict resumes, he claimed Iran could expand operations far beyond the Persian Gulf. He suggested that any future confrontation could impact key waterways stretching from the Strait of Hormuz to the Red Sea and even the Mediterranean region. Despite the tough rhetoric, Rezai also emphasized that the likelihood of war remains low, signaling that both sides may still prefer diplomacy over escalation. One of the most talked about moments from the interview involved speculation about a possible meeting between President Trump and Iran's supreme leader. Recently, Trump suggested that relations between the two sides had improved and even said he would be honored to meet Iran's leader. But Rezai quickly dismissed that possibility, saying such a meeting is not on the table and arguing that current negotiations have stalled. Public reaction has been intense. Supporters of diplomacy argue that confidence-building measures could help prevent another crisis in the Middle East. Critics, however, warn that releasing billions of dollars too early could weaken America's negotiating position and reward Iran without securing long-term guarantees. As debate continues, one thing is becoming increasingly clear: this isn't just about money. It's about trust, leverage, regional security, and the future of one of the world's most complicated geopolitical relationships. For now, the negotiations remain frozen, much like the assets at the center of the dispute. And with both sides holding firm, the world is watching to see who makes the next move. Will this become the foundation for a historic agreement? Or the beginning of another dangerous chapter in U.S.-Iran relations?